So we're joined from Birmingham, Alabama by my man, Michael Fagin, owner of MFJ Web Development. We got a room full here with us at Velma Jackson High School. We're in the Information Technology Career Cluster, and we're recording this for all of our friends in Madison County Schools, Madison Central, Rosa Scott, Ridgeland High School, Germantown High School, the Academic Options Center, my good friend Tiffany Turnage over there at the Madison County Career and Technical Center, and our YouTube channel. So thank you so much for taking some time for us today.
Oh, thanks, and welcome to pleasure.
Now, I know you want to show us some things you're working on when it comes to website and app development, which I know you guys specialize in for startups and people need people that aren't in tech need tech people.
Right.
Just give us a little background. You did go to Miles College there, right outside of Birmingham, great HBCU, and then you went to a large university for your master's, UAB, there in Birmingham. So just give us a little bit of background on on your college path because I like hearing the HBCU PWI combination from people.
And that's what I liked about it. I got the best of both worlds out of both of the education. Back in 2011, I started as I was 28 at the time and went back to school to pursue a computer science degree. My intention was UAB, but at the time I was working for the city of Birmingham, and I had a lot of people say, "Hey, go to Miles because Miles will, it's fast paced to get you on out." So I went to Miles, had a great time, learned a lot in computer science, and that's how I ended up developing my niche for web design. Well, at that time, we were using Adobe Dreamweaver for HTML and CSS web development. So over the years, there was WordPress and other type of drag and drop features, but at the time, I was doing completely just coding. So then over the years, we decided to migrate over to WordPress, where it's much more user friendly, much more of a drag and drop website feature. But you still would need, if you wanted to develop themes, and a lot of people, if you want to know how WordPress works, it operates off themes. So you download a theme, and if you want to customize that theme, that's where the HTML, CSS, JavaScript coding will come in. So 2015, well, I actually completed in December, but graduated in 2016. Right after Miles, I went straight to UAB and pursued a master's in information engineering and management. And that was a little bit unique because it really didn't talk about computer science, but it went more into C-level executive and entrepreneurship. So 2017, I decided, hey, let's make it a business. So that's when we first started as MFJ Creative Studios, and that I kind of ventured off to graphic design, logo design, etc., and web design. Well, after 7 years in 2024, I decided, hey, we're going to ditch the graphic design because that's just not really my space. So I got more into coding, cloud computing, etc., and app development because I had a lot of people come to me saying, "Hey, do you do apps?" And we started doing software as a service, which SaaS, software as a service. We started to do that. So that's when, back in June, we rebranded from MFJ Creative Studios to MFJ Web Development Company. The only services we do now is web design, web development, app development, and we're now doing AI solutions, AI
Wow.
automation. So that's all we do. We're no longer in the graphic design space anymore. Um, that's pretty much in a nutshell of what we do. We do a little marketing on websites and mobile apps, but we're not. If you want more detailed marketing, and this is what we tell business owners, if you want more detailed marketing, we do the basics, but we refer you to an actual digital marketing agency. But we want
Yeah.
to mostly focus in 2025. We're going more towards AI and SaaS businesses, meaning
Yep.
software as a service. So that's what we're really going to with the company.
Yeah, and we were talking before we were talking with the class before you came on, just briefly about you go in every small business, you go in churches, you go in hospitals, and they always say download our app. You have apps for the news stations, and these are not tech companies, but they need tech solutions in order to be user friendly. And I know you talked about AI solutions,
Right,
and it's not like AI you see on movies like iRobot, which is it's one of my
right.
favorite movies, We're not talking about that, but we're talking about algorithms that are built in these tech in these apps that can be user friendly. When you go shopping on a website, obviously, Rue21 is not a tech company, but they want a user-friendly website so they can have suggestions for people to buy. So that's where people like you come into play because these companies come to you and say, "Hey, I need a website, I need an app that my customers can use. I'm not a
Right.
tech person, so I need a tech person that can do this."
Right. And we actually have a potential client that we're trying to negotiate with now. They are a nonprofit, and what they're trying to do is create some sort of web application where um, companies or entities will donate clothes or cleaning supplies, etc., to that particular nonprofit. Well, they want a website where people that's in that nonprofit program can actually go to that site and schedule pickups, meaning they can pick
Wow.
up clean feminine products, cleaning supplies, etc. So that would require an actual web app. Now, we also are looking to create an app for them as well because you still have people that is traditionally want to use then you have people that want to use the app. So a lot of people just not really don't want to use the app. They want to use the actual website. So it's kind of two and two together. But with
Yeah.
the website, when we build an actual web application, we always will emphasize. Well, let me put it this way. If we build a website as well as a mobile app, we always will emphasize in the footer section of the website to download the app via Apple iOS or Google Play Store. So that pretty much will solve that issue if someone is saying, "Well, hey, you just have a website. Do you have an app?" Therefore, that language is there on the actual website.
Wow. Well, I know you want to show us some things, but before we
Yeah,
do that,
yes.
there's a couple things I want to talk about first.
Okay.
First of all, um, and we'll get to the entrepreneurship side, but this is a tech is an interesting field because obviously we are never discouraging anybody to go to college. I know you went to two great colleges and got degrees, but if you were looking to hire somebody that wanted to be a web developer, wanted to be one of your website builders. This is not something you necessarily need a degree for. We
No.
have great community college programs here in Mississippi where they can get a certificate in just 10 months.
Right.
The military is a great route to get into to get these certifications for tech, and then just doing a Google boot camp. So, because we have a lot of, and also we have a program. I mentioned Tiffany Turnage, my friend over there at Madison Career Technical Center. They can get these certifications in high school and actually, one of our students that's in here with us now, her brother did that, and he's got IT certifications, and he hasn't even graduated from high school yet. So when it comes to kids that want to get into tech and maybe they're on the fence about going to college, maybe they're worried about the price or the 4 year commitment, this is a field that you can get into and make a really good money without necessarily going the college route. So if people were looking to work for someone like you, what are some possible ways to get into this field?
Well, basically, when we put out advertisements for a cloud developer or a data engineer, I'm just giving you specific jobs. If you come to us and you are a dope cloud developer or a dope engineer in data, you can provide us proof, provide us a good resume. Even if you're taking a 9-month program, hey, we can hire you on. We're not requesting any 4 year degrees, any master degrees, etc. So when we get I noticed that we have an app developer has no 4 year degree, but he's a great developer. We hired him on. So we're not really emphasizing on 4 year degrees. This was just something I wanted to do. And
Yeah,
basically I wanted to do it so that my kids can see that hey, their dad went to school, their dad got education. So I wanted
that's
to do
awesome.
that as a family person. So but we're not requiring all these degrees. I know a lot of these jobs kind of could go overboard with this, but it's not in tech. It's not necessarily. Um, like I said, you only need just a minimal amount of coding, and once you get a minimal amount, always have this in your mind that I'm still learning. Remember, I'm still learning. That's how I had to do. I was at first just developing code, writing code, and see nowadays they have websites that you can actually. Let's say if you want to put a chart in an actual website, there's JavaScript websites that will actually let you input data and they will supply the code for you. Case in point, uh, we use Firebase for push notifications and database. Firebase is actually through Google. Just enter some small information. They will provide you with the code. Enter it right in. You just copy and paste it right into your website. So it's not for someone in tech. I wouldn't feel discouraged about getting a 4 year degree because there are. I know well, Jeff, I know you may know of Jeff State, which is here locally. Jeff State has a program where you can become a network administrator in under 2 years, which don't take 4 years to do. So they have some great community colleges actually have some great tech programs compared to some of the 4 year colleges.
Yeah, and like I said, here in Mississippi, yeah, I think it's unheard of. Where was this when we were coming up? We have Holmes Community College down the street,
Right.
20 on the ACT, free tuition, and that is not only for education, that is for career technical programs, including the tech certifications. So
Correct.
I know these kids get sick of us talking about the ACT. It's not just to go to the 4 year colleges. It can mean a great career for you that you don't pay for any training on. So that is
You know.
something to really think about. Now, the other thing I want to talk about before we look at some of your other stuff you build is entrepreneurship, because you mentioned entrepreneurship and you own your own company. So even if kids aren't interested in tech, I hear all the time about I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be an entrepreneur, and obviously, and we've had several students come through here that have operate their own small business at this time, and I think that's great because we need more Black business owners, especially here in the Jackson area. But it's
Okay.
not just the glamorous stuff on Instagram, and it's not just like on the Jasmine Sullivan song where she goes, "I'm going to move to Atlanta, open a business, and be rich." There's a lot of behind the scenes. There's a lot of time management. There's a lot of
Yep.
people management, and there's a lot of money management. So if kids are thinking about getting into entrepreneurship of any sort, what are some things they need to start planning for to take that step to be a business owner?
It takes a lot of planning. Normally, when when you actually turn 18, you can actually create a name reservation, and you can also sign up for an LLC. Of course, in our state is about run between $250 $300 to get
Wow,
that
it's
set
less than that here.
up. So yeah, I mean, once you turn 18, you can go right ahead and get all that set up if you're really serious about starting a business. Get a business checking account. Um, with money management, you really have to manage it. You have to separate personal income, personal funds from business funds. So um, you make a if you make $50,000 on your business and go spend it out lavishly, that's going to hurt you because it's commingling business and personal funds. Um, as far as work, it takes a lot of work. But see, nowadays things are so easy that it don't like me and you growing up. It took us a long time. Nowadays, everything is right there in your face. You just got to pay attention. Everything is in your face now. You have these builders. You have Canva. You want to create business cards or postcards or flyers. You have Canva. $14 a month. Get the pro plan. You could do a lot of stuff with it. You also have let me think of some more. Um, running ads. If you have a Facebook account, you can set up a business page. XYZ landscaping. Create a decent business page. Um, run ads in your local area, or run ads in the state. And people may not notice you at that time, but if you keep running them, keep staying consistent, you'll start getting inquiries, or you'll start getting comments, and then therefore you can kind of take it from there. Don't try to go out being like Walmart or Amazon. I mean, it's not going to happen. Not
Yeah.
that quick. So even you got Chat GPT AI. If you need to, let's say if you really don't have any type of social media post with marketing, etc., use Chat GPT and say, hey, write me a social media post promoting my business, or give me a 30-day plan, etc. And this is where with our company we saw this problem where we see business pages that are very rarely posting on their business page. So we thought of adding the AI automations, and that's one of the services that will alleviate that. You don't have to do anything. We automate it or help you automate it for you. So like I said, run Google ads. All this you can do them as cheap at first. You may want to do $20 for 10 days or maybe $50, something cheap until you start to grow revenue. Then you can start doing $100 a day, $200 a day. You'll start seeing revenue. So it does takes time. Even if you're out in your local community, if you're at the gas station and they have, let's say the gas station or the grocery store, if they have somewhere that you can pin a business card or a flyer, pin it. Gas station, you have a business card, put them out on the counter. Just keep doing this and you'll start to get noticed. So the biggest thing about business is you have to find clients. You can do all of this work, but if you don't have any clients, you're not doing anything. I've been through that before. It's times we get slow. But everybody gets slow, but you really don't give up on your business. Keep it going, even if you don't do nothing for 2 years on your business. Make sure you just maintain that EIN, which is the EIN, employee
Yeah,
information.
yeah, employment identification number.
Right, just keep that, and that's free. You just sign your business up, but make sure you have your articles incorporated. You have all that set up before you apply for the EIN. If you don't do nothing for 2 years, just hold on to it. Don't close it down. Don't dissolve it. But then let's say if you have time to start working on your business, now you can do it. It's kind of like buying land. Somebody can buy land and sit on it for 10 years until
Yeah,
something.
yeah, and then also since COVID, people like yourself, we had another friend of the class in New York that she all she does is virtual accounting practices. So all these
Correct.
small businesses that need somebody to manage their money, she does it on a contract basis, and it's the fraction of a cost it would be to hire somebody. So things like
Right.
that, there are so many entrepreneurs that gear toward entrepreneurs. So finding things like that. Now, I know you wanted to show us some things that you're working on. So just real quick, show us a couple things that you do.
Yeah, it's just something really quick. So for let me share my screen. Entire screen. Okay. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's one thing that we do. Do you still see me?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to go first with automations. So we use this platform called make.com. And what this is actually an automation tool. So we use Google Sheets and
Wow.
it runs through Perplexity, and Perplexity takes blog content or any type of article that we copy and paste into this Google Sheets file. It takes it and runs it through a router. This router will go into Chat GPT that we set up. We set up a Chat GPT assistant for Twitter, which is X, LinkedIn, Instagram for business, and Facebook pages. So I'm going to
Wow.
quickly um, show you how we do this. So let's say here is a blog. Here's the Web Designer Depot. Let's say if I wanted to take this article, and it's not going to happen like this because it's automated. So I'm just going to just show a quick demonstration. If I copy this and add it to my Google Sheets, what it has done is added a new row, which is here under make.com, watch new row. So it's watch the new row. Now, because I've set up some links already, it's going to go by the number of links. So right now, it's going to be at this that'll run in the morning, tomorrow morning. So basically, what happens is it's going to run through Perplexity, and it's going to reconfigure this into a social media post, and it eliminates the plagiarism. The
Wow.
router would the router would run to Chat GPT, also run through Dolly, which Dolly is a AI image generator. It'll run through and send a post to Twitter, a post to LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. So it normally is set to run once at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. So I've already ran it, but I'm going to show you what it's done. If we go to Facebook, our Facebook page, you notice that this was created today, 1 hour ago,
Wow.
published by Make. So if you go to my LinkedIn page, this is what it posts under LinkedIn.
Wow. It's a different image.
Correct, different image. So then,
Wow.
so it does this every day. Now you really have to play with this. You, you really have to set the prompts because with the basic Twitter, it only allows, I think, 200 characters, and we're still under basic Twitter. So if it goes over 200 characters, you have to then go into the Chat GPT assistant and kind of tweak it for it to actually keep this from backfiring because this will backfire. And if Twitter backfire, nothing else, excuse me, nothing else will get posted. So
Wow.
that's how AI automation work, and that's one of the services that, excuse me, that we're about to roll out. And this is the last one I want to share with you with really quickly is we use a platform called Bolt.new. This is an AI web app helper. And this is where a lot of companies like IBM and others are using. They're not using Bolt, but they're using AI to create better applications. So right here, this is, and I can go on and share this with you, but this is a software as a service that we're planning to roll out in February of next year called Acre Sprout. And it's basically for Alabama farmers, but we're going to test
Wow.
Alabama. Right, we're going to test Alabama out first. What this is a platform for farmers to sell their products. I know if you've noticed in other states, you have people selling peanuts or watermelons or collard greens or so and so. They're selling them on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Well, if we
Well, here,
introduce
Miss.
this, and I know y'all big on the catfish. So
Yeah.
let's say if someone is selling, if someone's a fish farmer and they're selling catfish on the side of the road. They got it in a cooler, etc. They can sign up on this platform and sell their products and can arrange either a pickup or a delivery. Of course, the delivery
Wow.
fees would apply, but there's also a delivery radius constriction as well. So basically, we started to create a some dummy data. So right now, I'm selling deer meat for $25.99 per pound. Um, if you want to find the farmers, these are the farmers that we've created, and they're just test farmers. So you can view their products, view their profile. We have an event calendar where if there's a harvest festival, farmers who sign up on the platform, they can create events that will go across the network, so people can see, well, hey, I'm doing a pecan festival or something here in Alabama or Mississippi or Louisiana, etc. In order for them to get started, for the farmers, they pay $25 per month to access the platform. Um, and someone like you and me that's a client, we can sign up for free and we can look at who has what on farm. So let's say if I'm looking
Wow.
for someone, yeah, if someone looking for lemongrass, if someone sells lemongrass, I can arrange to have it picked up or delivered. So we're still working out the payment schematics of this. So how this actually works is basically this is the preview of the actual. It's basically a SaaS application. It goes by code. So pretty much this is the I'm just gonna this is much of the coding that's already created. Um, Firebase, as we talked about, that's the actual database that we've already added. So whoever signs up on the platform, it goes into the Firebase database. So we'll know who's logged in, who's selling products, etc. So that's how Boat.new works. And this platform is actually will be built under the React Native framework, but like I said earlier, it still maintains the HTML and CSS
Wow.
um, coding. So, like I said, you only need just a little bit of coding, and you can start learning, from there.
That's incredible.
So that's pretty much all I have to share. I just wanted to show, a tidbit of what we do here at the company.
That's awesome. Well, I do have some questions from the students, and these are really good. So I'm gonna get as many of these as I can. I like
Okay.
this first. Ian Chambers, he's in 10th grade, one of our
Okay.
basketball players, and he asked, "How do you track and measure website performance?"
Through Google Analytics. Well, actually, I can give you it's you can do it through different frameworks. We mainly use Google Analytics, but Adobe Analytics um, is one as well. Now, he's a basketball player. I don't know if he may be aware of this, but the NBA most sports outlets use Amazon AWS as tracking as well. But normally with us, we use Google Analytics unless we get a client that specifies, hey, I have a Adobe Analytics account. Can I track my information from there? So for that, what we will do then is on the website, we will still implement our Google Analytics code, and we will also integrate the Adobe Analytics. It doesn't matter how many analytics you're using. As long as you have those tracking codes, you can do as many as you want to just track from each platform if you want.
Wow. And this is a great one too. Along the same lines, this is Sanaya Norman. She's in 10th grade, one of our cheerleaders. And she asked,
Okay.
what is your process for ensuring website security?
Okay, we use WordFence. And we also, WordFence is a great security measure. What that does is eliminates brute force attacks, and it also provides you a report as to who is trying to implement or try to infiltrate your websites. For example, for WordPress websites, someone may, I'm just going to put something in the chat. Someone may just keep typing this in the chat and the username. Well, that's a brute force attack. What that means is someone is just creating gibberish just to get into your website. WordFence will send you a notification. Also, they will give you a report once you log into your WordPress website. Another security measure we have is we let SiteGround do it for us. SiteGround is our hosting company that we use to host websites. SiteGround already gives you a security optimizer, and they also monitor your website as well. Another platform we use is Uptime Robot Monitoring. And what Uptime Robot Monitoring does is if your website goes down or someone gets or hacks your website, you will get an email notification right away. In this case, if someone has hacked your website, we can contact SiteGround. SiteGround can do a backup, and then we could possibly pitch a site scanner feature. And the site scanner feature is normally about $9 per month. So there are also other ways you can secure your website as well.
That's awesome. I like this one. This is Madison Sims. She's in 10th grade, one of our volleyball players. And she asked, growing up as a kid, did you ever think you would be doing this?
No. Um, and I can tell you how I got started. It was a summer. My brother and I was at our first year. I think I was like 14. First year home alone. My mom ordered a first Dell computer. The UPS man dropped it off, and while she was at work, I installed everything, and she was surprised because she wasn't tech savvy, but I just installed it. So I kind of got into computers then, but as far as web development, I started, but then when I got to Miles, that's when it kind of jumped off. I created a basic website where I received a supervisory certificate from the personnel board, which is in Jefferson County, Alabama. And I took a picture with the Birmingham police chief. Um, and I just thought that I would use that as an accomplishment. That was my final exam. So, excuse me. So after I took that, after I actually made an A on that project, that's when I took off with web development.
That's awesome. Well, I got time for two more. This is
Okay.
Bryson Stevens. He's in 9th grade. And he
Okay.
asked, what do you like most about designing websites?
Just like I like to compete with other web developers. That's the best thing I like about it. I like how nowadays they have new designs for everything now, and I try to stay in up on the trends. Now, of course, if you're building a professional website for a professional company, they're not going to want all that. They just want something professional, clean, and where they want to know how their data is going to be used. So let's say if we create a hospital website or a law firm website, they're not going to want all of that design. They just want to know a functional website, and they want their data housed on their website. So it's tedious at times, but I really like how I just like the designs.
That's awesome.
I
Well,
just like kind of what to say show off.
I got one more. This is Azaya Ray. She's in 10th grade, member of our
Okay.
band here. And she asked, with AI being one of the main uses of technology now, how do you
Mhm.
feel about it being used for your job as well?
Well, you have to stay above the trends because I'm gonna be honest with you, they are AI website builders already out. Now, the catch 22 with that is, yeah, AI will build you this nice website that looks better than a web design company, but will you get all the functionality that you need? So AI will say, hey, we're going to build you this nice website for free. They'll build you this nice website, but then when you start to add functionality, hey, you need to pay $99 per month. You need to pay $299 per month. So that's the
Yeah,
catch 20. So
big time.
big time. So if you got the money, you can do that. Even with now mobile apps now, they're working on AI with mobile apps, but it's still going to be a learning curve because people create. You're always going to maintain traditional coding because with JavaScript, you can make this app do anything you want to do using JavaScript and other frameworks. So with AI coming in, yeah, they can build you this mobile app, but can that AI build what you're looking for? So your build what you're requiring. So let's say if you're trying to require something where I'm just gonna if you want some ice cream to jump off the wall in real time, something like that, can AI do that? Compared to a well-known developer that can say, well, hey, we can create this JavaScript or this on-time scroll feature, etc. So um, yeah, we're very aware with AI, but we have to bring in, and this is why we decided to start doing AI automations because we don't want to be left behind, and we encourage business owners. If you don't feel like doing all this posting every day, if you don't feel like um, calling people or sending cold emails to pitch your services, we have AI automations to do that for you. Now, that's one thing I do like about AI is that it lets you it does give you the opportunity to send cold emails out, but with AI, you have to tailor those prompts. You can't just say write me this or write me that. Yeah, AI is going to give you a generic AI content, and if I'm a business owner and you're trying to sell me something, you're going to know it's AI written.
Yeah. Well, we're almost out of time, and we thank you so much for taking some time for
No
us. But a
problem.
couple things. To go. First of all, tell us where to find your website. It has all of your social medias on there. If anybody's interested, seeing what all you do.
Okay, the website is and I'm gonna put it in the chat as well. It's www.mfjdev.com, and you can actually email me as well, or you could go to our Facebook page. The Facebook page is search MFJ Web Development Company. Um, Instagram, you can search MFJ Web Development Company. You can see some of our work. Um, if you go to Instagram, you're going to see a lot of automations. Everything is pretty much automated now. Um, we're on TikTok. Well, we're on X, but we very rarely use it. So our main workhorse is Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You can search me on LinkedIn as Michael Fagin. Um, if you got any questions, feel free to email me, and I'll put all this in the chat. So Greg, you can just share it, if needed.
Awesome. Now, the last thing before we go,
Okay.
obviously, like I mentioned before, we always need more black business owners in our area, but we need more diversity in tech. I know you're doing a great job of that in Birmingham, but everybody I meet in tech says, look, we need more women to get into this. We need more first generation Americans to get into this. We need more black kids to get into this. So, why is this field so desperate for these kids to really consider learning these skills now to get into this field?
Because this is where the world is going. I mean, you look at electric cars now. I mean, look at robots. Look at self check. Even at Walmart, you have more self checkout now. Okay, who's gonna fix these if they go down? So that's you gotta look at that as well. That's why you need to learn cloud computing. If you don't, and I'm gonna tell you, Amazon AWS is very technical, but most companies are using that. Most companies are using Microsoft Azure as cloud computing as well. Software development. Okay, if the self checkout goes down at Walmart, or if the robot decides he want to take a day off, how are you going to program him to get him back running? You have to
Yeah.
have those software development skills to say, hey, even if it's just a small tidbit, let's say this code says shut down for 3 hours. Well, you can change it to say keep going 3 hours. You just have to know this coding and know how things work. YouTube also has educational people now that teaches you this stuff. Subscribe to them. It may take an hour. They normally take within 20 to an hour teaching you something. Learn it. Ask questions. If that particular developer, if you're lost somewhere, ask that developer a question on YouTube. Um, the whole world now is pretty much like a phone call now. I can send a guy in India a message or China a message. He'll message me back just overnight, even though the only difference now is just the time zones. If someone here in Dallas, Texas, or New York that's a great developer, if you're lost somewhere on his YouTube channel, send him a question, ask him or email him, or go to his Facebook page and send him a message. Like I said, it's just like it's a phone call away now, and this is where the world is going. So, I mean, either embrace it or
I'm with you. Well, I tell you,
yeah.
every time you talk, I learn something, and we really thank you for taking some time for us. MFJ Web Development, my man Michael Fagin, all the way from Birmingham, Alabama. And I'm sure I won't get a chance to talk to you again, but make sure you have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we appreciate you putting the information there for us. But again, Michael Fagin, my man, Birmingham, Alabama. Talk to you soon, buddy.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. See you, buddy.